Let's talk about some things personally. And this is what you're here, but you say that to you, right?
I think you have been generally fair. Yeah, you've been unfair, but so has everybody else.
Okay, all right. So you should tell me. You should call me when I'm unfair and tell me about it. But here's the thing that I want to know, and because I think that it could have been handled differently, but you did it your way. You're heading back to New Hampshire, right, for the first time for a town hall, since the guy at the town hall said the president is a Muslim, that we have problems with the Muslims in this country, and we have to get them out. If something like that comes up again, would you handle it differently?
I don't think so, no. No, I don't think so. I don't know who the gentleman was, but he obviously disliked President Obama very much. I don't think I have to defend President Obama. He was very strong on his stance, and still I don't know who this guy was.
But some would say you're defending the truth. But
I will tell you this.
That you're not defending the president.
Well,
you're defending the truth.
Remember this. You're not saying I defended. I didn't respond,
yeah.
Okay? It's the first time in my life I've caused controversy, but not responding. I thought I was very good. I didn't respond, and I ended up causing controversy. He said, Muslims are a problem. Okay? That's what he said. Okay. Are they a problem? You tell me. And I say, I don't see the people, and I use it often, that knocked down the World Trade Center going back to Sweden. Okay? So he said, Muslims are a problem. That was part of what he said. Well, I mean, can you make the case that it's been tough? And by the way, most Muslims, I know many, are great people, just so you put it on the record.
So let's say, do you think Muslims are a problem?
Well, I think a certain segment are certainly a problem, and unless you want to be so politically correct where you want me to say, oh, absolutely not. I mean, you have ISIS, you have the migration, you have all of this stuff, you have... You know, a lot of people think you're going to end up with World War III over the Middle East. I've heard that for 25 years. Mm-hmm. There's something going on when you see beheadings. I mean, beheadings, we haven't seen that since medieval times, beheadings. You see dunkings, they call them dunkings, drownings, where they put people in a cage, dump them in the ocean. There's something going on. Yeah. So when he said Muslims are a problem, am I supposed to say, oh, look, again, you know, you probably won't put this part. I have great friendships with many people who are Muslim, living in this building, okay, living here. But I have great friendships. They're phenomenal people. And most of them are like that.
Have they asked you about your comments? What do you say to them?
By the way, they think we have a bigger problem than we do. Okay? They think we have a bigger problem because there's a radical Islamic group of people that is brutal. And unless our country gets tough and smart, and unless we have the right leadership done, we're in big trouble.
I hear people say, and you know, many people will say, "Oh, well, you know, it's just Republicans. It's just people who are really far right who are talking and supporting Donald Trump." I hear liberals talking about you. I hear Hispanics talking about you. I hear gay people talking about you, and they say, "I like what he has to say, but I'm just concerned." If I ask you this question, when you answer directly, do you think that you are homophobic?
No, I think that I'm a very nice person. I love people, and I have to tell you, when you look at those polls, and look at the poll that just came, but it's across the board.
Do you think that
you know who loves me? The Tea Party. The evangelicals. You know, I'm leading with evangelicals. I love them. They love me. I'm Presbyterian. I'm Protestant, and they like me. And you know why? Because they think I'm going to do a great job for the country. Okay. They think I'm going to do a great job for the country. But if you look, because you're making it sound like it's far right. Far right does like me.
It's not.
The far right does like me. But you know who else likes me?
I'm saying
Democrats
your appeal is
like
broader
me,
than
liberals like it's straight across the board.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your appeal is broader than people think it is. So just
people are very surprised by that.
So you think you appeal to African Americans? You're not. Some people may perceive you as racist. Answer that. Do you?
So I just did a speech for the African American Chamber of Commerce of South Carolina, and they just wrote the most beautiful letter I think I've received in a long time, saying how unfairly I got treated by the press. I just showed up at that they asked me to do. I did it as a favor to a couple of friends of mine who happened to be African American who asked me to go. The dais was packed with people, packed with people. They were all up front. They actually, I made a mistake because I said they ran from their seats. They actually formed there. I could hardly get into the room. It was a great event. And CNN in particular made me look bad. And they wrote a letter, a copy of which I'll give you, which was so beautiful, saying how what a great event. It was sold out. It was packed. It was the best event they've ever had. And CNN made me look bad. It was very, and it wasn't my event. I had nothing to do with it. I just did a favor. I showed up because they showed some empty seats in the back. The fact is, everybody went forward because, in fact, I've never had a speech quite like this. I was surrounded by a tremendous number of people, and in the letter he said it was totally sold out. It's the most successful event. And what I'm saying is the press is very, very unfair.
Okay.
But what does happen, and what people are surprised at, is in every one of my polls, not just today's wonderful poll from USA Today, but every single one of the polls, people like you, I think you're one of them, it's straight across the board.
Yeah.
I get support from everybody.
And you have said that you're not anti-Muslim, so thank you for answering